All right, so we have our washer made. Here's our brass washer, very nice. And here's our stainless steel washer. So we're going to install this. So this is our setup. This is the check valve. This is nice and fixed. And here we have this 3/8 O-ring, then a nut, a washer, and a wing nut. So that 3/8 O-ring is basically just a bumper so that you don't have the clamoring of the metal to the metal when the hydraulic ram occurs. So we'll tighten it up and we'll put it back. Here is our check valve. We're going to put it back together. Make sure it slides in the hole at the bottom. The shaft is lined up. And tighten it. Get it nice and tight. Check valve installed nicely, and we've got water flowing. And to get the air out, you can see you just press it down. That's just to drain this air. So you can see in this operation, it's at 39. It's not getting much flow. To adjust, what we can do is increase the travel distance of this check valve. And the way we do it is we stop the check valve, and then we increase this distance here. So by turning these nuts a little bit, and we're just eyeballing it. So let's try it again. We're going to increase it a little bit more. Okay, here is the top of the check valve that I have removed. It's been in operation for about a week or so. I had all these washers on this shaft here, and I also used this silicone rubber. I have disassembled this shaft, and here is kind of the wear and tear on this check valve. So I used this silicone rubber. Thought it was a good material. It is a good material if you use it in proper application. This application is probably not the best because it has a lot of impact. Now you can see this nut kind of came loose, so this whole assembly is not exactly tight. It moves quite a bit, which is not good. The nylon locking nut looks like it stayed in place, and you can see this washer, it's a little bit concave now. That's probably because I had quite a bit of weight on the shaft. I had all these washers, they're kind of heavy. I was doing a little bit of experimentation, so all these washers were essentially on top of here. So as it was going up and down, it did quite a bit of damage. So I'm going to go ahead and replace this silicone rubber washer with another one. So here's my old washer that I also used silicone rubber, and this is probably a few days of operation. So you can see that little divot there that wasn't there, it was smooth on the top. And basically silicone rubber isn't the best material for this application. I originally made this rubber washer. You can see it is nylon reinforced and it's relatively soft, so it seals very well, and I'm hoping that these nylon strings inside the rubber will hold it together a little bit better, and it'll be better suited for this application and not fall apart like this one. This is made out of inside of a tire. I used a 2-inch hole saw to make the cutout, and the tread I just delaminated. You can see the lamination marks here. So I just took it apart and I used the inside of the tire because it's nice and smooth and it should be pretty durable. We'll use it for a while and then we'll take a look at it, see how it stands up over time. You can see it does have a little bit of that similar indentation from compression when it closes the check valve. You can see that little line, but that should be no problem as long as it doesn't completely fall apart like this. We don't want this because it actually gets stuck inside of the cylinder. So the rubber washer needs to sit basically inside just like this, nice and clean, and not fall through. So we'll go ahead and replace it. I'll take this nut off and then we'll change it. Okay, so here is the washer that I took apart, so you can see the adhesive that was on here. It basically deteriorated and it's all gunked up like this. Not good. We're going to clean that off. This part here, this little shiny spot, that's been hitting metal to metal, which is not good. So you can see the cylinder has a few shiny spots here and there. That's basically metal to metal. So as I'm cleaning this washer, you can see the adhesive, this little plastic to the metal, it's stuck real good, but then the adhesive to the rubber, that's what's failed. So don't use silicone rubber with adhesive, or just don't use silicone rubber at all, because that's what you're going to end up with. It's going to be no good. So it's too soft of a rubber. Otherwise it's very good for just as a spacer, for just compression, but no impact. I would have to go back and check it just to kind of tighten things up a little bit and see how this tire washer works. So I'll put it back together and we'll go ahead and install it. So basically it goes right in here. Here's the setup of the check valve shaft. So it's in fully closed position, and you can see I start off about 1 inch for the motion. So closed, fully open. This is fully open, so you can see the check valve in the fully open position, and this is fully closed. So it goes up and down about 1 inch. And these washers, the weights, these here, I would try to make it work with just these weights. Those were a little too much. That's why we had that washer bent like that, because of too much force, and it was pulling it out basically. So we'll let it work for a while and see how it goes. Hopefully it'll be in better shape. Let's put it back together.